Today we're going to be talking about the average rate of change. Average rate of change is the slope between 2 points on a graph. So you can use slope and average rate of change pretty interchangeably. The next definition we have is for a secant line. A secant line is a line through 2 points on a graph. So let's say I have some graph and I pick 2 points on this graph. The secant line is going to be the line that goes through those 2 points. So I'm going to call this x1, call this one x2. This then, the y value, is going to be f of x1. This y value is going to be f of x2. So the slope of the secant line, just like slope for any line, is going to be y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, which in this case is going to be the function value at x2 minus the function value at x1 over x2 minus x1. So when you're asked for the average rate of change or the slope of a secant line, you're just using the slope formula. So we'll do an example here. We're going to find the average rate of change of f of x equals negative 2x squared on, we'll do a couple of these. So first let's look at 1, 3. So that means we're going from an x value of 1 to an x value of 3. So my average rate of change is going to be f of 3 minus f of 1 over 3 minus 1. So when I evaluate this function at 3, so 3 squared is 9 times a negative 2 is a negative 18. Minus f of 1 is going to be negative 2 over 2. So negative 18 minus a negative 2 is going to be negative 16 over 2. So my rate of change is negative 8. Okay, we'll do the same thing. Negative 2 to negative 4. So we're going to have f of negative 4 minus f of negative 2 over negative 4 minus a negative 2. So f of negative 4, so we're going to have 16 times negative 2 is a negative 32. And then f of negative 2 is going to be 4 times negative 2, so minus a negative 8 over negative 4 minus negative 2 is negative 2. So here we're going to get a negative 24 over a negative 2, which is a positive 12. So the order of the points don't matter, so really this would probably more likely be negative 4 to 2, but you get the same answer. So what do these things mean? If we picture the graph of negative x squared, negative 2x squared, it'll be something like that. So if I pick a point at 1, from 1 to 3, the slope being negative there should make change. The rate of change being negative there should make sense. And then over here, it's going to be a positive value because on that part of the graph, the rate of change is positive. For our next example, daily attendance at a fair is modeled by this big equation. So this is negative x to the 4th plus 48x cubed minus 822x squared plus 5,795x minus 7,455. So we're going to use this to find the average rate of change for 2 to 6. I'm going to show you how to do this in the calculator. So to find the rate of change, we want f of 6 minus f of 2 over 6 minus 2. But plugging it into this equation is going to be tedious. So we can do it by just plugging in the equation once. So go to y equals, and you're going to type that whole equation in. So I've typed the entire equation into y1. Now, you can graph it if you want to, but I don't really care about the graph. What I want to do is evaluate the function at 6 minus evaluate the function at 2 over 6 minus 2. So I'm going to use the fraction feature here. Under F4, the shortcut menu, if you do alpha F4, all of our y variables are here. So I'm going to select y1, then I'm going to do an open parentheses 6 close parentheses minus y1 at 2. What this will do is evaluate the function at 6 minus the evaluate the equation at 2 without having to type all of that in every time. So we get 1,395. Okay, let's choose 18 to 20. So here we're going to have f of 20 minus f of 18 over 20 minus 18. But again, because I have it stored here, I don't have to type it all in. I can simply do, I'll do it in parentheses this time. Y1, open parentheses, evaluated at 20, close parentheses, minus Y1 evaluated at 18, divided by 20 minus 18. So we get negative 921. So what do these numbers mean? So this function told us this was daily attendance. So this means from days 2 to 12 that per day there's about 1,300 additional people attending the fair. From 18 to 20, the number of people coming to the fair is decreasing. That on average, negative 920 and less people were entering the fair. So that is average rate of change. Coming up next, you're going to learn about tangent lines.